do you really?
Well, site manager, been here just over 30 years. My role has changed over the years as other people have come in and other regimes have come in, changed slightly, but it involves quite a bit of health and safety, or supporting Rob Mackenzie with health and safety and site maintenance, looking after cleaners and their requirements, and general repairs and maintenance really. So more and more as time's gone on, I've become less office bound and more out and about as our staff situations change. Rob Mackenzie's taken quite a bit of a lot of my paperwork over the health and safety side of it, and I'm more outdoors, which I prefer anyway.
The hands-on stuff.
Yeah, the hands-on
effectively.
stuff. I prefer to be out and about, not sat in the office. You know, what you'd call compliance is the complying with regulations that are issued by health and safety, which say that you must check your water at certain times, you must check typically your breakers in your fuse boards and your emergency lights. They're to be done at specific times, generally once a month, some things once a week, water in particular once a week. Draining taps off and things like that, just to make sure there's no build-up of stale water. You know, in the time I've been here, obviously the things that we have to check now that we never had to check before. 30 years ago there were things we didn't even know about. Legionnaires, I guess, were less well known about and the causes of it. Asbestos were just coming to the fore, the dangers of asbestos now. You know what a threat that was to you. Well, typically we've got a list of things that we do on the wall there now. We tend to share them between us depending on which shift we're on, because quite a few of them are not possible to be done within the working day when there are people on site anyway. Okay. You know, we set, let's say for example, we set the fire alarm off. That does require them to be on site, but it requires there to be a situation where there are no exams that we're disturbing and things like that. So we do that typically once a week, every week. The deaf alerters that we have, which are a device for the hard of hearing kids, they go alongside the fire test in that the fire alarm sets the deaf alerter off, so we have to log those down as well. And then we've got emergency light tests, which I did last weekend when I were on, which is a huge job, having to test every single corridor and every room within the place. When I say test, I mean flick the lights off, the power off, and allow the backup batteries to kick in and come on. And that happens once a month as well. Waste is an issue as well. As recently as last week, we had issues with the insurance man with waste, where we've got skips on site, we've got the small wheelie bins outside the back door, and we've got skips at the back of the site. You know, the wheelie bins that are next to the building now we've got to move because they've got to be more than 15 metres away from the building. So we've to re-site them, which obviously has implications for cleaners carrying stuff further away to put in the bins, etc. The big skips that come and get emptied once a week, they've got to be 15 metres away at least from a building. So it has.
What's the thinking behind that exactly?
It's in case anybody sets fire to them. You know, typically your PVC windows or wooden windows that go up and the place would go up basically. So it's just ongoing really. We do have sack carts and we have shopping trolleys, as strange as it may seem, which are quite good for carrying bulk paper, and quite a lot of heavy bulk paper as well. And then the big cart that we move big stuff around site with. So yeah, as you say, that has its own health and safety implication. You know, typically I've just broke off lifting 50 litre bins on and off the trolley to then take them up the site, which are quite heavy, but it's a matter of bending correctly and lifting correctly and making sure that you don't put your back out basically. Setting up for exams typically, you know, you're talking about in the big exam centre, exclude all the other ones, you're talking 260 desks, 260 chairs, which have to be moved. We moved them 3 times last week in 1 week because there were things going off in the sports hall that required them to be moved and then put back again. That doesn't usually happen, but by some sort of a strange quirk of fate, a mistake that were made, we've finished up having to move them 3 times in a week, and it's a big job. And it's the stacking of them, you know, the stack 20 high, but it's not easy to stack them 20 high. The desks themselves, there's a technique to it, and you've got to be careful, and you trap your fingers. You know, we'll trap his fingers at least twice during one move of 250, and that is the way it is. but you've just got to lessen the risk as much as you can.
Talking about
It is, again, getting back to the split team, it's changed slightly in that Richard's come and Richard's got a building background where we haven't.
Right.
We've gone to a certain level of repairs and maintenance where Richard's come from a building background, and he's got his gas certificate, which obviously allows him to repair boilers, and he does plastering and plasterboarding and things like that, which we don't do. We're not trained to do it. So yeah, there is like two, in that respect, two teams. One that does that
Okay.
side of it, builds office partitions and stuff, and
Yeah.
us that do the routine stuff. You know,
Okay.
some of which we've
Yeah.
done ourselves in the past, but yeah, Richard tends to fill that role. Now, the big busy time of the year, obviously, is this time when the kids are leaving, when we're actually ripping walls out. We ripped a wall out last week and making a bigger room out of two small rooms. So that started last week, did that.
Right.